Hi everybody, this is John from Old John's Vlogs. I hope you had a nice Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. This is the first time I've been able to get out for a walk this year. It's been terribly cold, and I'll show you some of the photographs of the snow later. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. It was still very wet underfoot, so we had to try and find high ground where possible. In the shadows, it was bitterly cold, so we tried to get into the sunshine. The puddle was barely above freezing point. Well, I'm glad we took the other path this morning because the normal one, as you can see, is underwater, and all this area down below is usually full of bulrushes, and there's not one to be seen. Whether they've been flattened down or taken out, I'm not sure. But last year, when I filmed it, it was covered with duckweed. Well, I'm not sure who made this, but most people pass it. It's been up a long time. That's the reason, because most people don't see it. Well, this pond's been here as long as I've been coming down on site, but I've never seen it as big as it is today, or as clear, or as full. I can only assume that the snow and the rain we've had has helped to fill it to capacity. It comes in from the left, by the way. You can see there's a channel there. This is not the original dike. It goes all the way around the back of at the side and the back of the Carlton Marsh Nature Reserve. It's in South Yorkshire, by the way. There's two Carlton Marsh Nature Reserves. So this dike goes all the way around at the side and the back, and it creates a moat. And you can see now they've got cleaning screens in there. I don't know if they rise and fall, I don't know, but it certainly keeps the water clean. And it looks to me as though there's been loads and loads of work done down here since I last came. Lots of trees have been felled and lots of scrubs have been moved, and that's, if I dare use the pun, that's the nature of a nature reserve. It needs to be not left to its own devices. It's got to be managed. Now the dike used to come through where I'm standing and looking down at the moment. Let's see if I can get a better shot. The dike used to come in through the left, and it used to go to the right, and originally it was a flash flood situation where it used to dry out and then it used to flood, but we altered all that, and I must take the credit for this dike being moved on the outside of the reserve. So that's the lake as it is today. There's a swan on. I don't know if my camera will show that, but you can see it's a substantial lake, and its maturity is proven by the reeds around the edges. But just going back to the beginning again, to the left, all that area, I mentioned to you earlier that there was when it was in a flash flood, that means when the water came down quick, we used to get a lake here, and then it used to dry out again. So we had to come up with an idea of how to keep water on site all the time. And if you look to the right, across there, although you can't see it, there's a dam all the way across, and that's what's holding the water in that place. Without that dam, the water would just all flow out. Now, for people familiar with the BBC spring watch, winter watch, autumn watch, they'll know about diving duck sound. So in the main on this site we've got dabbling ducks, and that means that the water depths are not all that deep. And the problem is with digging deep on a site like this is what do you do with all the spoil? And either you have two things you can do. One is take the soil away, soil away, and that costs a lot of money, or dump it on the sides. Now there's only a certain height you can go to when dumping it on the sides. Hence the reason you don't get a lot of depth down on this particular pond. But I'm pleased to tell you that further developments further on site have created a bit more water depth, and so there's diving ducks as well. But you have to walk right to the end of the reserve. So it's late January, and every year I like to film the catkins, and this particular tree has been a tree I've filmed for many years, and it never ceases to amaze me how nature keeps coming at certain times of the year. Yeah, so that's probably better with the sunlight behind it. But we're not walking far today. I've got my son with me. It's still very cold. Yesterday we got 90 mile an hour gusts of wind, and prior to that we've had snow, we've had fog, we've had freezing conditions. So we've not been out for about a month walking, at least a month. And the thing is about walking is to build up your stamina as you go along. So if you've not been walking for a long time, don't go on a long walk, take a short walk, and then as the weather improves, make your walks longer. Now all the reeds you can see are standing in water, and if you're patient you'll probably see or hear a kingfisher. A kingfisher sounds as though it makes a sound a little bit like a mouse, but it's flying, so it alters. Believe it or not, my jaws are getting too cold to talk. It looks beautiful out there, but I assure you it's very cold. In fact, I'm surprised camera's still working. So all the way down there, reeds, water underneath, and further on there's some more ponds being scraped out. Once again the soil's been put to the sides and left, and you can't see it any longer. Now if we just look down here, this steep embankment is actually an old railway line, and whether it'll come again to be another railway line I'm not really sure, but I would have hoped that the reserve could still remain. Now at the other side of the reserve you'll see all sorts of trees. We planted those in, and the idea was to create a roadway so that anything like JCBs that had to do any maintenance on site at that side could get down there just by going behind that tree line. The shrubs in there now that need moving, and above that the hill is called Sunnybank, and that is one climb to get up there if you're at my age. I've done it many times when I was younger, but now I don't think I'll bother. I think I'd have to stop a few times. Anyway, I think that's going to have to be it for today, unless I can get some more interesting pieces for you to see. Oh, I'll just show you up here. Remains of nests I've gone past last summer and didn't see. So all the times I walked down this path in the summer, I didn't see those particular things, missed them every time, so it shows you how much you can miss. And of course, when you're going down on a walk, you see certain things, but you see other things coming back off the same walk. Well, just before Christmas, it snowed, and it snowed, there's about 4 inches of snow, which doesn't sound much, but what happened was it froze, the snow froze, and it made it very difficult for the birds to find the seed. But I did put some more out for them. Oh, by the way, don't use a tray. It's poisoning birds at the moment if they're not clean. If you've got a tray, get rid of it. It's new information to me now. So we were stuck. It all froze up, and I couldn't get in the car, couldn't get down the drive or anything. Anyway, that's about it for now. So hope you've enjoyed the video.